Dr. Richard Krugman spent decades in pediatric medicine.
I've seen nothing here that's specific for sexual abuse.
And became recognized as an expert in the mistreatment of children.
Just about every adult and pediatric disease that used to kill people or really seriously harm them when I was in training 50 years ago is either gone or better.
Every one, except the neglect and abuse of children in all its forms: physical, emotional, sexual.
We're 40, 50 years behind.
Krugman speaks from the experience of decades as a pediatrician, as the former head of the Kemp Center for the Prevention and Treatment of Child Abuse, as the longtime dean of the University of Colorado School of Medicine.
Yeah.
Now 80, he launched the National Foundation to End Child Abuse and Neglect with a partner, Lori Poland.
We are currently in a culture where people are not comfortable talking about child abuse.
Lori was dumped.
She was kidnapped, molested, and thrown into an outhouse pit as a 3-year-old.
Trying to change the conversation about child abuse and neglect from just being a social issue that happens with Department of Human Services and to minorities and marginalized populations is hard.
Krugman treated her after the assault and works with her now toward a lofty goal.
To eliminate abuse in our lifetime. We did that with polio. We've done it with smallpox.
They've raised money and funded research.
Hello.
But to realize that goal is going to take a lot more and a lot of help.
It is not a requirement for people to share their story in order to do something to end child abuse. It is not a requirement for people to stand on the front of the stage and raise their hand and say, "Me too." It is a requirement that we all do something better for our world's children.
Tonight at 9 and 10, we'll have the second part of our look at Lori Poland's life, both the struggles of continuing to deal with what was done to her and her efforts to channel that into making a positive difference in the world. And we have much more, including some of our original coverage of this case at 9news.com.
Wow. It's so interesting when you think about the lifelong that she could choose to just never speak again, you know, like almost shelter herself from that story. But instead, she knows she has something she can give.
She has something she can give, and I was actually talking to my mom today, who was a therapist for many years, and she said, that she's just amazed by Lori Poland, and I said, she talked about interviewing her, and I said, it's really easy because Lori thinks it's important to talk about the hard stuff, and my mom said, that's where you find the healing.
No, that's a great way to
Great
put it.
strength now and great strength in her adult life, and obviously great strength as a 3-year-old. When you
Exactly.
consider what happened to her, it's shown throughout her life that she is a woman of character.
She is, and I think people will really see that in the package we have tonight at 9
I'm
and 10.
interested to see because not everybody dealt with it like she did
Right.
around her. Okay. Thank
See
you,
tonight
Kevin.
with that. Thanks, Kevin.